please subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video.
Well, moving lower as we speak, we are virtually at the low point of the day. You shorted the index at any point of time today, you would be making money because you have moved to the low point of the day. The 10,200 call, that's giving you the sense that the bears, they feel they are on top. Close to around 15 lakh shares added at around the 10,200 call, telling you the kind of aggression we are seeing on the call writing side. But where do we go from here? We are trading below the 200 DMA. So we have our technical experts with us, Ashwini Gujral as well as Prakash Kaba. Ashwini, coming across to you first. Where do we go from here? Trading comfortably below the 200 DMA.
See, so far, the mid-cap index has been decimated. I think in the second half, you will see Nifty and Bank Nifty getting decimated because now momentum is so strong on the downside that even a minor pullback rally is becoming difficult to engineer. And now that we are trading below 200, below previous, intermediate low, I think the market will gather steam from here. And I won't be surprised if today turns out to be a little like Friday. So finally, the Nifty could be down, 120, 150 points. Bank Nifty could lose another 150, 200. So it's fairly clear that there's nobody on the other side. And just a little bit of selling takes the market lower. So that people should keep in mind that now supports are, it's like a hot knife through butter. So don't bet on any of the supports holding. And at some point, we'll break 10,000. Having said that, Bank of Baroda is a sell with a stop of 141, target of 126. OBC is a sell with a stop of 98, target of 95. And JP Associates is a sell with a stop of 20, target of 17.5. And just my trading guidance. Right now, you are getting traction, momentum, all on the downside. The pullbacks are weak. This is the time to do bigger than usual volume because the market is, strongly trending on the downside.
Hi, Ashwini. Afternoon. So even at these levels, one can go short with a target of 10,000 on the Nifty. And what would the stop loss be?
The stop loss will be wider if you are selling after a decline. But overall, on any sort of rally, any sort of, 100-point rally on Bank Nifty, 20, 30-point rally on the Nifty, you can easily sell into. Often those rallies come, at the open. So just make sure that you are on the right side. But I don't see any news or anything else that can shake out the bears. These are strong bears now. They've tasted blood. You need a very earth-shattering type news to, make them reverse positions. Otherwise, the bulls are just kind of backing off. And till the 31st of March, I think this pressure will only intensify. So this is a new leg of downside which is opened up.
Just take a look at it. Yeah, a few of those stocks are really getting a sharp knock. Bharti Airtel, you pull up the intraday chart to there. Ambuja Cements as well is moving low. And just take a look at Hindalco. That's down nearly around 4% as we speak. So a lot of these stocks, they are taking a hard knock, particularly in the last few minutes. And as Ashwini said, it appears there's a fresh, downside that's opened up. The bears smelling blood, as Ashwini would say. But Prakash, what about you? What picks do you have for us today?
Market is down to 10,097. I feel it's going there. Will it stop there? I don't think so. It may see a bounce there, but looks like some more downside is coming in the days to come. I have two stocks, both short side. Bank of Baroda is looking weak. We can see a slide to around 120 is blood zones. Stop about 140 should be fine. And Havells India also is looking weak. A slide to around Havells 490 is possible. Stop about 515.
Ashwini, just one final question on IT. Where do you stand now? Clearly, it was the leadership sector, but now that we are entering into further downside, what will your advice be on the IT large caps?
See, they are also now giving up gains because people are losing so much money on mid cap, on financials, that even IT is not being able to hold on. I think even that should go in for a correction. At least the CNX IT, I see it going down till 12,000. But now, the rough end of the stick is going to start where every day in the afternoon, like we had from 10,600 to 11,000, you got those 150-point moves. Now it's the accelerated move and the market will move fairly sharply below the 10,000.
Okay, all right. Thanks so much, Ashwini, as well as Prakash, for joining in and giving us your quick take. Well, it's not stopping there, actually. 10,125. The selling is just intensifying. Volumes as well picking up. Bharti Airtel continues to move lower. And Yes Bank as well is now down close to around 2%. Tata Steel as well. I remember the stock at around 780. Now it's at around 580. So just take a look at that one as well. The banking stocks as well, they're getting a sharp knock. The mid-cap index is taking a bit of a whack. Advanced decline ratio. Now you have only around 315 stocks that are advancing, with more than 1,700 stocks that are declining. So the crisscross lines as well should come up for you. Some news that's flashing for you on the screen. I think we should get that up in terms of the board. The Ultratech's board has approved issuing fund of around 7,266 crores to Binani Cements to pay the lenders. Now, remember what's important here is that in fact, as things stand, the COC, that's the Committee of Creditors, they have gone ahead and more than 75% of those members on the COC, they voted in favor of Dalmia Cement. So as things stand, the Binani Cement asset goes to Dalmia Cement. But Ultratech, remember, they had filed a petition with the NCLT Kolkata. That matter will be heard today. So depending on the outcome over there, then in fact we'll see whether or not there's a revised bid. There is a case for a revised bid, and what are the contours over there. So that's the important factor as of now. If in fact there is no questions raised, then the asset goes ahead and it goes to Dalmia Cement itself. So we'll be waiting by today to hear what the NCLT Kolkata has to say, because last, as per what reports indicated, was that they told the RP to come ahead and explain to us why did Dalmia Cement win over Ultratech Cement. So that's that's something that's going to be held later today. But for the time being, Ultratech Cement is saying, well, we have the money, 7,266. I think that'll be roughly around 8% or around 9% higher than what Dalmia Cement has offered. Lata as well joins us in the studio. Lata.
Well, there are several problems raised by this kind of request going from the defaulter NPA company to one of the buyers. Now, does this mean all defaulters will decide who will take them over? So tomorrow, does SR decide to go for a comfort letter to New Metal or to Arcelor, whomever they prefer, whoever they have comfort zone? So will Bhushan Steel and Power also go to somebody whom they like? Will Bhushan Steel also go to someone they like? We thought that, from the way the amendment was made to the IBC law, that the defaulter is not even himself allowed to bid. Then who is he to decide?
Absolutely.
So that question gets raised. These are all questions which will come up before the NCLT and the courts.
Yes.
I'm just raising that this looks very odd.
Yes.
And the NCLT could look askance, the lawyers to the rival parties or to whoever could raise this as an issue. It could be a bad precedent. And, well, bad or good, I don't know. It is at least not gelling with the spirit of the amendment.
Absolutely.
With the spirit of the IBC amendment was that we don't allow those who have defaulted to apply, and then to go ahead and say that those who have defaulted will decide who shall apply or who shall win, looks a little askance to me. We will have to wait and see how. As well, there is this timing issue, At what point do you stop this discussion and hand over?
Absolutely.
So there are several problems that will be raised by this. I doubt, very much doubt, that the NCLT or the courts will allow this to be a precedent.
Right.
But as of now, we are just reporting what Ultratech has told us after their board meeting.
Right. Lata, the street is asking, what kind of a right does Binani Industries have in the first place? As you're mentioning as well. Fundamentally, why is this asset so important for Ultratech Cement? Because it strengthens them. It consolidates their position in the west of India. For Dalmia Cement, why do they want it? For the last decade or so, they've been working in Northeast and they've been working in South India. Now with this asset, they get to come to the West, and it's a quality asset, 6.25 million tons that can be scaled up to around 10 million tons. So that's, that's about...
I take your explanation as an investor, but but I don't know, from the legal point of view, the NCLT will look out for these things. Who came first? At what point was a decision taken that this guy is the winner? How long do we allow counterbids to come? Even once should we allow counterbids to come? And ultimately, the owner of the asset now are the Committee of Creditors. They are acting as the board because literally they own, and the company owes them everything.
Absolutely.
So if the Committee of Creditors have decided somebody is the winner, then that is the last word, I would think. But really now a lot lies with the NCLT to decide who decides the winner At what point you put a closure to the whole thing? And finally, to whether the owner of the defaulting asset has a right to, play favorites in the whole process at all.
Absolutely. Just to tell our viewers as well out there, Binani Industries, I think, our internal team as well is telling us it's moving higher. Remember, just keep in mind, as a shareholder, you have to see what does a shareholder get out of this. The street was building in, maybe something could be received. Just a couple of months back, the stock was near 145 rupees and the stock has corrected to around 95 rupees. So irrespective of who gets the asset, as a shareholder, it's still not clear whether or not the equity shareholder of Binani Industries gets any value or not. Just wanted to alert our viewers. You pull up the intraday chart, there's a bit of an intraday spike, but you pull up a last 2-3 month chart, you'll see that the stock has corrected from around 145, if I'm not mistaken, all the way to around 95 rupees. So just keep that in mind.
All right, that is the sum and substance of the news. Ultratech's.
We'll try and get. Sorry.
Yeah.
Just if we can get some lawyer to comment on it, we certainly will. But for the moment, I leave it to you.
Okay, so Ultratech Cement has the financial muscle to go ahead and acquire Binani Cement. They seem to have the implicit approval of its parent company, Binani Industry, but the street will await the NCLT verdict, which is in Kolkata today. Some more details. Slipping some more now, 10,122, a cut of about 72 points in the Nifty. Sensex down close to about 200 points at the low point of the day. The company on our radar right now is ITD Cementation. The company has lost out to Reliance Infra on the Bandra-Versova sealing project, and this would be the second loss for the company because they had, in quick succession, because they had lost the Mumbai Trans Harbour link earlier. To talk more about it, we're now joined by Prasad Patwardhan, the CFO of the company. Good afternoon, sir. If you could first confirm, has the company lost 2 of these bids in quick succession, and what would be the reason for that? Have the winners bid too low?
Good morning, Rima, and thank you for having me on the show. Our JV partner for the Versova-Bandra sealing, we bid for the project in joint venture with Hyundai, which is a very globally reputed infrastructure company, and they had done similar work in other countries as well. So we believe our price was, we had priced the project, our bid properly. So probably, the working done by the other companies probably was different. But we still firmly believe that the price that we had quoted for was the right price.
Bid was how much lower than your bid, and what would it imply by way of IRRs or margins for companies, the winning companies?
Rima, the project was a pure EPC contract, so there's no question of any IRR. It's just a cash contract. You execute the project and you get paid for it. So there's no IRR involved here. I understand the gap between our bid and the L1 bid was about 400 crores.
All right, Mr. Patwardhan, now we'll get back to this topic and your order book as well. But sir, a quick question. There's a fear on the street that the promoter support has been dwindling in ITD Cementation. Can you give us some clarity, sir, on that front? Is the participation as much as it was? Give us some clarity, sir.
Actually, there's nothing could be further from the truth. The parent company is completely supporting us in all matters, and there has been no reduction in the parent company support at all.
All right. Okay, sir, because one reason why the stock has been under some pressure from the recent peak was, that the parent company and some of its officials were in some legal trouble as well. And besides that, the parent as well was finding it a little difficult to, to progress on their own projects. But you're saying it's not affecting the Indian listed entity ITD Cementation at all. Is that right, Mr. Patwardhan?
Absolutely right. There is no impact on their support to our company. They are continuing to support us as they have been supporting earlier. There has been no drop in their support to our company at all.
Okay. What is the company's current order book? What have been the order inflows in this Jan to March quarter? And with the loss in these recent orders, is there a risk to your revenue visibility for FY19?
We ended the year 2017 with an order book of about 7,500 crores. 2018 has started on a very good note for us. We have received orders in excess of 2,400 crores in the first 2 months of the calendar year. As of date, our order book is in excess of 9,000 crores. So, there are no loss-making projects. We did incur some losses on the Delhi Metro projects, but those projects are completed and the losses were accounted for in the first or second quarter of the previous year. So there are no more loss-making projects in our order book. In addition to the orders, 2,400 crores orders that we have received in January and February, we are lowest L1 on further orders worth about 2,000 crores.
All right, Mr. Patwardhan, if you could give us a sense of what is the guidance going ahead, what kind of revenue growth can we look at for FY19, and also give us a sense of how is your balance sheet looking like?
Well, our balance sheet has improved substantially after 2017. You know, we did a QIP in January and mobilized about 337 crores. So that has really shored up our equity corporate capital, and immediately we have deployed the money to reduce our debt. So our debt is, you know, our debt equity ratio today is something in the range of 0.1 or 0.15. Our equity capital has gone up to about 1,000 crores and debt is about 150 crores. As far as the operations are concerned, you know, we don't give any forward-looking statements, but we have a very healthy order book. The order inflow in the first 2 months has been really good, and we expect it to get executed and reflect in our profit and loss account in this year and going forward. So we are expecting a good performance as far as, you know, the flow of orders into our P&L is concerned.
Okay, Mr. Patwardhan, thank you very much for joining in with those details. So, ITD Cementation lost 2 recent orders, but the company is not perturbed. They won orders in excess of 2,400 crore in the first 2 months of 2018, and there are no more loss-making orders in their kitty.
Yeah, importantly, Rima, also they're saying that the parent support continues, and that's something that, you know, some part of the street was quite cautious on. The stock is still down close to 3%. I think from the recent peak, it's corrected from around the 230 odd mark. But on that note, that's it from Rima and me. We'll wrap up on Halftime Report.